You worked in Washington.
Yes.
What's some secrets you can tell us? Or some things that maybe we don't understand or don't know?
We need to know that we all need to vote.
Well, that's obvious.
that's we got to
That's
do that.
obvious there.
Yes, you said I can look in the can. Yo, vote.
Right now.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
now.
But
Early.
is there anything that you can tell us behind the scenes?
Yo, working in the White House is like one of the most hectic, crazy, and fulfilling, things. Like when you're giving of yourself, because I was making no money.
In what capacity were you working?
I was assistant to the White House Chief of Staff, right?
Okay.
So the White House Chief of Staff basically runs the White House, right? Like all of the people, are engaging with that person. He's the quarterback, of the White House.
And this is under the Obama administration?
No, this is under the Clinton administration.
Oh, Clinton. Wow.
So this is 97, 98. This is my first job out of college.
Okay.
And so it was the most fascinating, exhilarating, experience that I could have possibly had during that period of my life, and one of the greatest, but I lived through all kind of crisis, right? The Monica Lewinsky scandal happened, the Kenneth Starrs investigation happened, like all those things were taking place, and so for me, coming right out of college, what I learned is how to manage through crisis, right? How to get things done even when everything was crazy, and that sort of experience really shaped me as a leader. I was working with some of the smartest people in the world. I'm this little kid, sort of, running around, but I was in this environment of brilliance, and it just allowed me to grow and experience great things. I will say, Erskine. I was living on my fraternity brother's house in Alexandria, Virginia, and I had no money. And I'm driving this 1990 Geo Prism. We got tinted windows, booming system. I'm pulling up like right next to the West Wing every day in that car, and I had to be the first person in the West Wing every morning. And my car breaks down. I mean, smoke coming out of it, crazy. And Erskine finds out about it, and he was like, "Yo, just come live with me." And I was like, no, okay. and so I live with him, and it opens me up into this whole other world. And then we're on the weekends, we're watching football, and we riding in, and we're talking, and he's talking about business, and he becomes like my second father.
Wow.
And I told this story, and this is off tangent from your question, but I think it's just like this thing about mentorship. I told the story a couple of weeks ago. After I leave the White House and I'm in business school, and after business school, if somebody would call Erskine and say, "Oh, I met this young man Demond, who used to work for you," he wouldn't be like, "Oh, Demond's a hard worker," or "Oh, Demond is a good kid." He would say, "Demond is my son."
Wow. And
I didn't fully comprehend and understand that at the time, but I have great clarity right now. What he was saying to those rich, important white men, treat this black kid as you would my white son. And that gave me, a set of credibility and exposure that at the time I couldn't have gained, for myself. But it also has shaped me as a mentor, and how I want to structurally change people's lives and give opportunity and engage with them, because that's what I've been given.
Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and comment. You never know what I might be in the comments. And also, thank you guys for continuing to watch.